And at the end of the day, my motto is like, getting to the top is optional. Getting down is mandatory.
We got in our underwear. We took our shoes off, our socks off.
Maybe only 15, 20 feet behind me. You weren't that far, and I could barely see you.
Because I could barely see you.
I hadn't really been paying attention, but all around us turned into a whiteout.
No, it was serious. Narrow. It was serious.
You're like, and I wanted to record it.
Yeah, no, and I was just recording it.
About 1,000 feet of vertical gain, or 800. I don't remember what it was called. They've actually filmed a scene from Rogue One there.
Yes.
Yeah, I hate you, share.
Bro, how did you get your leg in there?
No, I was sitting weird and it just slipped in.
Alright. We're recording already.
What are we talking about?
I think we were talking about Iceland. What's the first thing that we're going to talk about, though? Let me see. Do you want to put on the headphones?
Yeah, I guess we can.
Yeah.
We're both going to have... on the right or the left?
Uh-huh.
The cord on the right or the left? Or it doesn't matter?
Left. No, yeah. I think it does matter. Well, it matters if you have, like, the surrounding sound and shit.
You know, I don't think I've come on this one other than with Brendan.
No.
And I will say this sounds substantially better than...
What do you mean?
The other podcast setup you had.
Oh, yes.
Then
Wait,
with
those mics?
Yeah, they kind of sucked.
They were so hissy, but I mean, I'd rather have two mics that are hissy so that you can like de-noise them in post. You know?
No.
Okay, well, like, no, like what I meant.
That's like saying...
No. It's not what I didn't say that I meant to have those over these. I meant that like, if I need to combine them, I'd rather have like all of them be either cheap or all of them be expensive.
Yeah. No, it's because you made it seem like...
like I'd rather have those...
I would rather have two mics that are hissy, that way I can denoise them.
No, over these?
Instead of these nice Sures that are actually pretty good.
But, wait, hold up. Did you record with these mics when Brandon came to record his podcast on the studio?
I think so, but you didn't have the headphones set up.
Oh. Yeah.
But no, I remember the other ones, and like you had to turn the headphone volume like all the way up just to hear anything. And there was just pure like buzzing in the ears. So
like, and you'd be like, "No, it's gonna sound really good in post, man. I promise." Yeah,
it's pretty miserable. These are only good with cloud lifters, though, right?
Yeah, so I have them right here. I actually heard that you don't even need a cloud lifter because what it does, it just raises the dB, right? And you can just do it on the Rodecaster. It's the exact same thing. That's what I've heard.
Isn't it like
I don't know.
It's like the opposite of the attenuator.
I don't know.
You're bypassing. I guess that's if you're gonna go into a system that has a really bad preamp.
Okay.
It's like the same thing that when you're recording on top of like a shotgun mic on top of your camera, a lot of people will like raise the dB of the mic like to plus 20 and then drop the level in the camera.
Yeah.
Because the preamps inside of these Sony cameras, or I mean most cameras in general, they suck.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Like I understand why they cloud lifters now.
Yeah, so it's basically the same kind of thing, just inside the microphone.
Yeah.
Like you're raising the mic level.
Okay.
Or like sometimes if you're recording like DJ audio and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, before 32-bit was a thing, you used to have to get something called an attenuator, and you would basically plug it in. It kind of looks like a cloud lifter. It's smaller.
Okay.
You plug the cable into the DJ setup.
Yeah.
Plug it into the attenuator, and it would be like negative 15 dB, and then it would come out the other side, and then plug into like a Zoom H1 or something.
Oh.
Because they could not accept line level. It was only taking mic level.
Well, that's weird.
And the line level is just like way high.
So what it would do is the exact opposite, right? You said?
Yeah, it would basically just drop the signal. It would
drop the signal.
Because otherwise it would be clipping. No matter how much you drop the level on the preamps, it would just still clip. It'd be like super loud.
Dude, you see, I don't know anything about audio like at all.
I pretend to know.
You pretend to know? I mean, it's because it's a whole world in and of itself. My friend Joaquin, he's actually like, he knows about audio. Like he built his own, like he builds his wires and shit. And he was like, yeah, man, like you could build your own XLRs. Like just get the plug and like just get copper wire. Like he was explaining like the whole process. And he was like, it's going to sound substantially better. And I was like, I don't know how to do that, man.
You're like, or I could go on Amazon Basics
and get some.
Get some for $15.
But he told me the analogy. He was like, look, you can have like a really good heart, but if your veins suck, your body's going to shut down. He was like, you can have a really good mic, but if the cables suck, it's going to sound like shit. And I was like, that makes sense.
Oh, he's a cardiologist also?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's Dr. Joaquin.
Roasting.
Dr. Mole.
I think I did a video for a few cardiologists at the hospital. I think one of them, the last name was Joaquin, which is kind of funny.
Wait, that was his first name though. Joaquin is not a last name.
No, I think. Well, I don't know. It was one of those like they have multiple last names. It was something like that,
but Joaquin's not a regular name.
Or he went by Dr. Joaquin.
That's weird. I think that's his
Joaquin
first name.
Something. Yeah.
It's kind of like saying like Steven, like Dr. Steven. That's like saying that. Like Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
First name.
That or it could have been a middle name.
Could have.
Yeah, because I think now that I think about it, it was something Joaquin and then like a long last name. I think that's what I remember. But
it's like Max for me.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was in Brownsville or here in McAllen, but it was one of the cardiologists.
That's cool. Yeah, those were hard to shoot, right? Let's not get into that.
Yeah, you would be genuinely surprised for filming doctors. You would think, oh, these guys are super well educated. Like they spend a lot of time in their craft. They know what they're talking about. Like it's gonna be real easy to record. You go in, and then I literally spent 40 to 50 minutes sometimes in an interview. And mind you, I was only asking 4 questions.
Oh no!
It was like the same thing we do for just corporate videos, and like it would just take like an hour, and not including setup. But I'd be there for an hour.
Because like they wouldn't know what to say, or because they would like stutter, or like what? And just like
all of the above.
Oh my god!
They wouldn't know what to say. They would stutter, and that's because in the email that was provided, we would always tell them, "Here are the questions. Please make sure that there's a clean office space. Please make sure that it's prepared beforehand, and that all of the doctors are ready to answer the questions that we have."
Oh my god! And
someone would be like, "What email? What are you talking about?" Nah, I didn't see the questions. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, I got them in my email. Let me look at them."
Oh no! I mean, I understand they're really fucking busy.
Yeah. So on multiple occasions, I was out recording, and he's like, "Oh no, I have to do a surgery." So
like I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. He would just leave, and then I understand it is what it is, especially with like heart doctors. They're very limited, especially cardiovascular surgeons down here.
Yeah.
But they would just leave, and then I'd be there with a setup like,
what do I do?
What do I do? And they're like, "Yeah, he's not coming back out today. We'll have to reschedule." I'm like, "We're in Brownsville."
Would you charge for that day though?
No. I should have, but no, I was working for somebody else, and I had a set rate. So at the end of the day, I was technically second shooting. I was editing, but it was a weird thing. It wasn't under my contract. I wasn't getting paid directly. I was getting paid by somebody else.
That sucks.
It'd be like if Brendan had you go out to shoot something for him. Like, "Hey, I need you to go out to shoot a wedding." And then they keep you there like 4 hours longer.
Yeah. And it's like, you already said the rate.
Yeah, it's a gray area. You're like, "Oh, okay." And especially when it's like day, or like mine was per project. Like I get paid per project. It wasn't a bad rate at the time. I did enjoy doing them, just not the rescheduling.
That's the thing. Anyway, we're gonna talk about Iceland.
We're gonna have to cut that.
Yeah, probably just bleep it out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. We're gonna bleep out a bunch of stuff, probably. As long as we have fun. You don't need to have context.
So Iceland.
So we're gonna. You finally came, man. After we came back, we went in May, right?
Yeah, like early May, mid-May.
June, July, Agosto. Almost 4 months, man.
I think it has been about
4 months.
Yeah.
You wanted to do, I mean, here's the thing. Steven always has something going on, right? And like, I get it. We're really busy people. But I was like, hey man, just please prioritize the podcast. Because like, it's fresh right now, right? Like the trip is fresh. And then something always came up, and he never came on the podcast until today, 4 months later. And I barely remember the trip now.
I kind of remember.
I remember like a little bit.
I got like a memories reel. It was like snow days. It was so funny because it was a bunch of photos of us. I wouldn't say near death experiences, but definitely suboptimal weather conditions. Yeah. And it was just like this upbeat music that Apple put on it. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is
like us dying,
like violent music, and then you're getting cramps and falling down, and it's freezing.
You could straight up see my muscles twitch through my legs. That's how bad I was cramping when we were hiking that thing. And like the snow was like all the way up to like our knees, right?
Yeah, in some parts.
Yeah, we're like, shoot.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be like that, and the weather wasn't supposed to get like that either. But I did hear that it's notoriously there's
unreliable.
Yeah, it's very unreliable in Iceland, especially, and we were on a peninsula on an island in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah,
so it's about as out there as you can get.
Yeah, so we started hiking, and then we were like, okay, weather looks amazing. So we started hiking, and we saw the app, like the weather app. You know, everything looked great, sunny weather. And then we were like almost like really close to the summit. I want to say like what 70% there. And then when we went into the whiteout,
I say what when I started day one.
You know what? It's because I don't remember day one.
Okay, so first day we got there,
We should probably look at the vlog.
No, we got there at like 8 in the morning. We should look at the vlog. But I remember we got there at like 8 in the morning, and we had just done an overnight flight where we got free PJs, which I still wear.
Oh my god, yes! Like I wore them last night.
Yeah, they're surprisingly comfortable.
They're really, really comfortable. Thank you, United.
Yeah.
For those PJs, they're amazing.
Sponsor. United
You know
Airlines.
what? I'm gonna make like, you know how I make the lower thirds? I made it for Duncan. I made it for Cuban. I'm gonna do it for United.
You need a little animated plane like flying like.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Star Alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got there at 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we went to go pick up the rental car. I don't think we did anything that day other than sleep.
I think we looked around.
I think we walked around a little bit, but
like, we went to Keflavik, right? We drove all the way to Keflavik.
Oh, you know what? That's right. Because we couldn't check into the Airbnb until like 3 p.m. And we got there at 8 in the morning. Maybe we got out of the airport like 9 or 10.
See, this is why
we got the car.
This is why we should have done the podcast as soon as we got here.
Yeah, no, we should have. Yeah, okay. So we did that. Then we went to. No, we didn't go to Keflavik either. I don't even remember.
We went to Cafe Petit. Look, you know what? Okay, we're gonna look at the podcast. The podcast is gonna play on the screen, so you guys can be on the same page. If you guys want to look at it, it's not the vlog. Sorry, not the podcast. It's 3 minutes.
The podcast is gonna play on the screen. The podcast.
The vlog. It's 3 minutes. It's not done at all. It doesn't even touch like day 3, I think. But you and I are gonna watch it right now, so we can talk about it.
You have it saved?
Yeah, it's right
On
here.
your phone? Yeah, let me see. I don't remember. Just put on the.
This is dumb. Steven is saying the fact that we're gonna be attending Cafe Petit during our Iceland
2021.
After how many years? Was it 2?
Like 2 years.
2 years? Fuck. It was a meme. And now it's real. Cheers.
It's all coming back to me. I should have stayed.
All things considered. We drove 40 minutes for some coffee.
Yeah, man. But we made it. It's a meme.
I wasn't going to have a coffee because we gotta wake up early tomorrow.
Yeah, so I had a coffee for the first time in a month, and it was just crazy because 2 years ago we never thought this would have happened. Oh, by the way, what was in that bottle?
What was in the bottle?
It was
what was in the bottle?
So
That's what it was about.
So here's the thing. Steven said, he was like, "You're gonna have to explain to me what's in this bottle." It's one of the products that my dad actually like makes, you know, in his factory. And Steven was wondering what was in that bottle. He never knew because it was just like a water bottle, like a regular water bottle, right? And we were talking about Iceland 2 years ago, and he said, "You gotta tell me what's in that bottle." And I was like, "You know what? I'll tell you once we're in Iceland. If we go, fuck this way, man. If we go, and then I just zoom into Iceland randomly, and I see this shop that's called Cafe Petit, and I was like, if we go here, and here we are 2 years later, man. It's gonna be so anticlimactic, how do you say it? Climatic, or whatever. It was just tire shine.
That's it?
That's it.
That's so lame.
It's just tire shine, man, after 2 years.
I asked you like easily 30 or 40 times what was in the bottle.
You thought that it was something wrong.
I thought it was soap.
Oh, it's just tire shine.
Hiking Glimmer, something like that. It's like a 3-hour waterfall hike. Second tallest one in Iceland. So should be pretty cool. Hopefully we don't get our feet too wet.
So hopefully this is not overkill for now, but I mean, we're packing extra layers. It might get colder as we go up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It starts raining.
sometimes it sucks being like, you know, a photographer and videographer, because you just want to take so much gear, and the drone and everything's heavy, so we have to like compromise. And he's like, I'll take the drone, you take the long telephoto lens. Heavy long telephoto lens. But yeah. That's it.
Oh, and then it cuts off there.
Yeah, like that's all I
Oh,
have
like
right
right
now.
when the action starts, and then it just stops.
Well, you know what? Actually, no. Like I had a little bit more, but it's like maybe 30 more seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I kind of remember.
Kinda. But
Yeah,
yeah.
for the first day. Okay, so we got coffee. We almost went back there
Yeah, we almost went back there on the last day, right?
on the last day, but I don't think we ended up doing it because it was like we were all tired. It was like a 45-minute drive,
It was a 45-minute drive just to get coffee.
and then back. It's an hour and a
And then
half, and then the gas is
Yeah, we were completely tired.
super expensive.
I forgot what we were doing though before.
Dude, the last couple of days, like the first couple of days, were not that bad with driving.
Yeah.
And the last few days, I feel like we're just pulling like 6 hours, 7 hours in the car, multiple days,
Yeah.
which doesn't sound that bad.
But it is.
But
It piles
on
up.
those roads, it was really nasty. Like we were going like 40 miles per hour.
Not only that, but it was like after like a 7-hour hike. You know?
Yeah,
Like-
we were just going all day. Like it was like 15-hour days,
Yeah.
20-hour days. And we go to sleep at like 1, 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we would wake up at 9 a.m. and be like, all right, now what?
No,
Let's do
and
it
like
again.
granted, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I feel like we over prepared for that trip. We bought a lot of food that we did not end up eating.
Yeah, no, we left most of it. We should have known better. Honestly, well, we did have problems with the stove.
Yeah, we did.
That didn't help. The one that we rented, I mean, the guy was super nice and chill and everything, but it was just a little overkill. And I thought it was
It
going to be
was.
like different weather and everything too. It was like snowing a lot and raining, and
Yeah.
we just didn't really want to be outside at night once we
Yeah.
were all settled in.
The thing is like we thought that we were gonna be like in the middle of nowhere for the majority of the time, and we were, but there was always a restaurant.
There was somewhere. I
know?
mean, we had a little bit of trouble finding places that were open.
Yeah.
At certain times, I remember on multiple occasions we were like, "Oh, it's already 6. Like everything's closed."
Yeah, so we had the little bags
Every day of the
that we
week.
had.
Yeah. So we did what we could. Forks. We need them.
Yeah, well, we had to buy some.
Spoons. Yeah, no, but I remember there was at least one day where we were just like eating out of the bag like monsters.
Yeah, like we like the thing is we had like ready to go. Like how do you call those pouches? Like, what do you call them?
They were freeze dried food. So you pour the boiling water in and it cooks it, but the
Yeah.
food is inside of a bag. And
Yeah.
we had no way to eat this wet food out of the bag.
So we'd just be like, he's like pushing it up like if it was toothpaste.
Yeah, no, it was not particularly satisfying. I felt like I was eating dog food.
Yeah, but it was really good though.
No, it was good
It was
after
good.
after like not eating all day and just walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first hike was only a few hours drive. It wasn't that bad, and but then once we got there, I remember my first thing when we first started getting to the dirt roads. I was like, "Dang, these these roads are a little rough."
Yeah.
And the roundabouts. There's roundabouts at every single
Everywhere.
intersection, pretty much. Like I
Yeah.
had never driven on that many, and they have completely different rules
Yeah.
to the ones here in the U.S. I mean, we're from McAllen. The only roundabout is
It's like it's somebody like over here, right? Like
it's like in the Sam's parking
yeah,
lot. in
yeah.
Trenton.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
then maybe one more at a church or something like that. I think I've seen a few, but it's not very common at all.
It's not no,
And
not at all.
they're one lane.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, well, you show up to it and you just yield. It's
And like, there's
it's
almost
a stop
nobody
sign.
there. Like never.
Yeah, there's never anybody there.
Yeah.
These were like busy, like 3-lane roundabouts with like lots of traffic. And we were driving. We were just like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Like,
The first time I think I was driving on the first one, right?
yeah, and I just told you, I was
Yeah.
like, you're supposed to yield to people trying to exit, and you're like, what does that mean?
What
I'm
does
like,
that
just
mean?
don't crash. Go through the intersection, don't crash.
I remember that, and like I was on the third lane because I was like, I'm just gonna like go in and get out. But you were like, no, the person in the innermost lane has the right of
Right
way.
away.
And I was like,
I don't
bro,
understand.
I was like, am I gonna get cut off?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then we were convinced that, or at least for a bit, I thought that you were running stop signs because we didn't know what the stop signs looked like over
Yeah.
there. There's these weird signs in the middle of downtown. Maybe you can pull up an image or something.
Yeah,
and we were just
maybe.
going through them, and
I put them there, but it actually meant like don't park here.
yeah,
That's all it meant.
yeah. And then we
Yeah.
were just going to the intersections. We were like, were we supposed to
Dude,
stop?
no, I was stopping at some point. Like at some of them, I was like stopping, and like the cars would be
Like honking.
Yeah, like what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, oh, sorry. So I just kept going. But definitely do your research on signs of countries that you're gonna visit.
I will say the people were friendly, but the people driving were really rude. Actually, it
Yeah, they
reminded me a whole lot of the time I spent in Mexico.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
I felt like I was back home.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, we drive like this.
I was like, no, I hate it. I'm like, man, everybody drives aggressive. It reminds me of the mall, like right before Christmas or on
Yeah,
Black Friday.
on
That's
Black
what it reminded me of. It's everybody just driving like nuts. But The place is cool. There was a few times where we just didn't see any cars for a few hours.
Yeah, or like even when we were like in the big cities, we barely saw any cops. There was no cops.
Yeah, I didn't see any cops, but they got speed cameras everywhere. So
Yeah,
and red light cameras.
Yeah, but like actual police cars, like we probably saw maybe 3 in the whole trip in the whole 10 days.
Yeah,
and they had a van as well, right? It was like a cop van.
Yeah, it was like the ones in Europe, and they were painted differently. It was interesting.
Yeah, it was really cool to see.
Yeah, anyway, that first waterfall hike, I remember we got there, and I don't know if you were feeling nervous. I was kind of like, just like, oh, okay, like, won't be that bad. But I had read online on All Trails that the river was kind of overflowing, and that the little, it's disingenuous for me to call it a bridge, because it was basically just a big piece of wood with like 2 little metal cables across it, was down because it wasn't considered summer there yet.
Yeah.
I thought it was basically summer because it was mid spring or late spring at that point. It was almost going to be June. And I thought, oh, maybe they'll have it up. And then I saw a trip report. Somebody had posted it like a week before. They're like, no, this stuff's down. The river's high. We had to turn around. We didn't get to see anything. I kind of already knew that going into it. I think you were just like, all right, let's see where we go.
Yeah. I was just kind of like, fuck it. I was like, I'm just going to follow your lead and we'll see what happens.
And we kept going. And then the cave was really cool. We went down into a cave.
Cave was nice. We
pop out of the cave. We're at the water line, and I just remember seeing the river, and I was like, man, I don't think we're going to cross this. This looks bad.
It was really fast.
It was very fast moving water. The water was deep, like at least up to the waist, maybe even deeper in some parts. And it was cold, like very cold, freshly melted snow, because the temperatures had just started getting warm enough for a lot of snow to melt. So it was just melted snow water. Yeah. And we get to it, and nobody's crossing. Everybody's turning around. And then we sit there for, it had to be 30 minutes, 40 minutes at least. We were just taking pictures. I was trying to, I climbed up this big like rock face to go scout and see if I could find any easier way to cross. Couldn't see the waterfall. It was just straight canyons. Like after that, it was like 600-foot cliffs. Yeah. We're like, okay, well, I guess we cross here. And we saw one couple do it. And after that, I was kind of like, well, this looks a little sketchy, but if somebody else did it, sure, we can. They don't look any more prepared than we are. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to explain how it felt trying to cross, but yeah, that was a weird. I've never felt anything like that before.
I've never been so cold in my entire life, and we were just like, okay, we were like, what do we do? And we saw this couple. Like we had the idea, but we were like, nah, I don't think we're gonna do that. But we saw this couple like do it first, so we were like, we're gonna follow their lead. And essentially, what we did. We got in our underwear. We took our shoes off, our socks off, put it on the bag, put all the gear in the bag, all the gear that we were carrying. Oh, it was already there.
And all the camera equipment. I was kind of like, man, we can't get this stuff wet either.
Yeah, no. And so we started hiking. We had our hiking poles, right? I mean, we started walking across the river, and it was like probably up to like almost our waist, right?
Yeah, it was almost up to our waist. I was for sure like my knees were soaked and like it was splashing.
And it was extremely cold, and the rocks were actually they were smooth, but they really hurt my feet.
Really? I didn't have that experience at all. They didn't hurt my feet at all. The only thing I noticed was it was super slippery. And then we immediately got in the water, and this sense of panic just hits you. It's like adrenaline. Your heart just starts going super fast. You're breathing hard. And we start walking, and we had to take a break almost immediately. We walked for maybe like 15 seconds, if that, in the water. And it's up to, like I said, almost our waist. Yeah. And we find like a little...
Like a little island rock.
Yeah, right? Like a little grouping of rocks that were a little bit above the waterline. And we get to it, and we're both just breathing hard.
We're like, fuck. And this was like maybe a little bit over halfway, right? Like
no, it was less than half. It was like a third.
No, it was like already almost.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, no, to me, I think it was like 60% of the way.
I thought it was like right away. That's what I remember, that it was like almost half.
No, it was. I think it was like, for example, if the whole table was a river and we're crossing it, it was probably like right here.
Maybe
like from here to over there.
Oh, I'll have to find a picture because I know I have a photo of where it was or a video.
Because we didn't film that.
No, of course not.
There was no way.
We needed stability with the hiking poles because the only bad part is it wasn't particularly dangerous because it was not like there was big drop offs or anything. Yeah. But there was a lot of rapids. So you don't want to fall over and get swept, not just because you're going to destroy the gear, get all your clothes wet, get really cold, but you're going to go down the river and you're going to pop over rapids and whatnot. And you'll get up eventually, but I don't want to have to hike back up after going a quarter mile down the river and getting soaked and getting banged up on rocks. Like that would suck. So
yeah, and then as soon as we crossed the river and we got to the other side, like it was like really really cold temperatures, but it felt really warm after crossing that river. Like we were hiking in like 30 degrees Fahrenheit, like a little bit over that.
No, I feel like it was warmer. It had to be in the 40s
Really?
or 50s. It was just the water was cold. I don't remember it being particularly cold. I mean, definitely not shorts weather, but I think we just had like one base layer or something like that.
I think I was wearing like 3 layers.
I think I remember just a long sleeve but I run warm when I'm hiking. I don't know why.
Anyways, like the outside felt really warm after that. Like really warm. I'm like, this feels really good, and especially my feet. After we dried them up. I put the socks on. I put my boots back on. I was like, my feet feel really warm right now.
Oh, felt nice. It was like tingling warmness. Then we kept going, and it actually got surprisingly steep. I wasn't, I wasn't expecting it to be as steep as it was, and it was very loose rock.
Yeah.
But they had some metal
stakes.
Rods. Yeah, like stakes going into the rocks, and they had a cable going across for certain sections. I guess because they had quite a bit of falls. Maybe. And some of the rocks were wet too. Yeah. In the beginning, like close to the river and like near the waterfall. And we climbed all the way up. It was maybe about 2,000 vertical feet or so.
Was it?
Yeah, it was actually quite a bit. It was about 2,000 vertical feet for the whole climb. And we got all the way up there, and we got some pretty cool pictures of the waterfall.
Yeah, we did. But well, you did. You had a nice tripod.
No, yeah, I did. Yeah. And then the only thing is that once we get to the very top, we're high up there. Now we need to get back to the car, but we're on the opposite side of the river. Yeah. So we are once again forced to cross the river, this time on the backside above the waterfall. Yeah. Which sounds stupid, but the water wasn't moving nearly as fast up there, and it was a lot lower, but it was still cold. So.
It was really cold, and we had to do that again, the whole crossing. And we were trying to find like another way to like not do it, but...
No, I walked for quite a while, around the backside of the river. I thought maybe there's like spots where it's more narrow, but no, I walked for a while, and it was like this wide open plain. There's like other mountains with snow on it. There's like nobody there. It was a really weird experience.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was just like plain and like all this moss and like all this field of just like nothingness, and then like mountains in the back, and I was like, whoa.
In the river, yeah, and it's just the highlands. Yeah, it's very weird. I've never seen anything like that. Yeah. Then we came down. It was just rocky the whole way. Yeah. And
I think that's pretty much it.
There wasn't much to see on the way down, to be honest. I mean, there was a nice view of the place we drove in. Yeah. You'd see the river, or not the river, the stuff going out to the ocean.
Yeah. So that was like what, day 2?
That was our second day, and
and day 3, what was it? Just driving?
Yeah. So where did we drive to? I think after we did the hike, we kept driving, didn't we? We kept driving from there, and we went all the way to the Snæfellsnes Peninsula.
I think maybe.
And then we slept there at that town where Kirkjufell was. Yeah. I remember because we slept there like 2 or 3 days in that same like camping spot that was closed.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we got like 2 nights there.
Yeah, something like that. And we had eaten in the town and stuff.
Yeah, and we hadn't showered at all.
No, it was gross. Yeah. I mean, thankfully it's not like we were sweating. It was cold. But
yeah, but still, our clothes actually, they built up quite the smell by the end of the trip.
By the end of the trip, it was nasty.
Yeah, it was.
We never get to wash.
No, we didn't get to wash, but we got to shower like 3 times. Yeah. In 10 days.
In 10 days.
That's all right.
It could have been worse. I was kind of expecting that we weren't going to get any. Yeah. Because I was just like, I don't know when this is going to happen, but yeah, we got a few Airbnbs, so we were able to.
Yeah, I've got 3, in a triangle throughout all of Iceland, and or 4.
No, we got in Reykjavik, in Akureyri, and then
somewhere over here.
No, I think we only did those, and we slept in the car because that's when we got the snowstorm and everything. Oh. Yeah, and then we drove straight back.
But we got another one in Reykjavik.
Yeah, we got another one in Reykjavik.
Or Keflavik.
No, Reykjavik. Keflavik is where we flew out.
Like at the end.
Yeah, at the end. Yeah, we just got another one. We stayed there for a few days.
Yeah, like 2, 3, 2, because we cut the trip.
Yeah, the trip like a day
shorter.
It was like a day short.
Yeah. So, oh my god, you want to say that story about the storm?
Oh, which one? The first storm or the second storm?
No, the one where like we almost like stayed there overnight.
Oh, with the driving. Well, that was like on day like 5.
Yeah, it was, but I don't remember anything.
Like in between. I'm trying to remember what happened. Well, we did the other hike, and it was supposed to be real straightforward and easy. Yeah. And I can't even remember the name of the mountain. It was like Snæfellsnes Jökull or something like that. I'm not pronouncing this right.
The peak, with the whiteout.
Yeah, and that's the one we climbed. And I remember we started pretty quick. Well, we had driven up this F road,
Yeah.
That was probably the scariest
It
drive.
was, to me, it was really fun because I was not driving, and I was like, "This is like a roller coaster."
Yeah, no, I was driving and I was like, man, there's big drop offs on each
Yeah.
side. I was like, this is a rental vehicle. Like we had it in 4-wheel drive. We're going slow, and we got up to what I guess is the parking lot. I mean, technically, I think we were supposed to drive further up, but the road was just snowed out, and they don't plow it until June.
Yeah.
So we couldn't go up any further, and we got stuck. I mean, we saw another couple cars. Never ran into any people. Funnily enough, we didn't see any people the entire time.
No, we were
Completely alone
we
for
were
like
completely alone.
6-7 hours
Yeah.
at least
in a mountain,
on the mountain. It was weird.
in a snowy mountain, no service.
Yeah, in another country.
In another country, that's
Yeah.
where we were.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the feeling of solitude. It just depends. Like, there's a certain amount of fear that comes from it, but
There's a certain amount of risk.
I mean, look, when we were looking at it, it didn't look that bad, right? It was flat. It just looked like a little hill, and we were like, oh, like
Well, like a tall hill.
a tall hill.
Yeah.
But I remember you were like, oh, like what, like 2 hours?
Yeah, I was like, I think we're gonna finish this in 2 hours.
I was like,
You were like, oh, you're funny, buddy.
Maybe like 6 or so.
You're like, oh, you're really funny.
And then we're going up it, and I think you were beating me like hardcore on the flat part. Like I was like,
Yeah,
kinda
you
dying because
gotta
I
stay
have
behind.
to get used to it. In the beginning, once I first start hiking, it takes me a bit to kind of like get into the
just
feels.
start going?
It takes me like at least an hour. I don't know what it is. The first hour feels miserable. Once I'm moving, then I start getting used to it, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'll just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Then it got a lot steeper. I think that's when you started getting like these massive cramps
Yeah.
in your legs.
Yeah, you could see them through my pants, and I was
Yeah, they
wearing like
were
3
gross.
layers. I was wearing like 3 layers, and you can see my quads just going like.
Yeah, like twitching.
Yeah.
Well, and the weather was very bipolar. Like I remember we were looking back, you could see the ocean, and you could see all the snow and rocks. And I just remember thinking like, this is like Arctic landscape looking. I had never seen so much snow. And we keep walking, and then we see like haze coming in, and we're like, oh, that's crazy. And we start getting snowed on. So I'm like, oh, okay, let's put on our layers.
Yeah.
We start putting on more layers. Max and I are walking through the snow. It's still flat at this point, and we're getting like pelted with snow.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, this is gonna suck. Like we haven't even started going up yet.
Yeah.
Then we start going up, and like maybe halfway up the mountain, it cleared up. It got completely sunny.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like we're gonna get to summit. We're gonna get a nice view. I was like, that bad weather's behind us. Keep going. Max starts to get more cramps in his legs.
Yeah.
And I think the pain probably got worse because it's not like it got less steep. It just kept getting steeper.
Dude, it kept on getting steeper and steeper and steeper. Yeah.
It didn't look that bad from far away. And then once we were on it, I was like, man, this is easily a 45 to 50 degree angle
Yeah.
of steep snow. I mean, you had never been on any sort of like alpine climbing like that
Never.
before. It was not steep enough for you to really like fall significantly.
No,
because we did try, and you really couldn't roll that well
But
because it was so powdery, the snow.
but like we had to like kind of like zigzag to go up.
Yeah, it was very steep. We
Yeah.
kind of had to like we had to kick steps, and with the amount of fresh snow, we just kept sinking. Like you take a step, you shift your weight to move your next leg, and you just crunch down. You go up to your knee.
Yeah.
In some cases,
Yeah.
and it was just very tiring on the legs. I think that was making it worse too. And then my boots were starting to get cold from all the snow getting into it. I had left my gaiters here in the States.
Yeah. So you left your gators actually here in my house.
Yeah, they were here.
I found them. Like
I thought they were there, and I
Yeah.
just left them in the car, but they weren't even in the same country.
we're not even in the same
So,
country.
I should have done a gear check and done, but I didn't think the snow would be that fresh or that thick. And
Yeah.
we kept going up. It got steeper and steeper and steeper, and we finally crest over the top of the kind of the incline that we were going up, and we had been going up for a few hours by this point, and we were both tired. We finally get up there, and it felt nice. Like what we thought was the summit, we had actually already surpassed. We could see the summit or what we thought was the summit from the car, and we had already passed that point going up the incline.
But there was another one, right?
Yeah, because I thought we were going to cut to the right. I'll see if I can find a photo.
Yeah.
And like just go up the peak there.
Yeah.
That was not the peak. The peak was further back on the flat part, like kind of plateaued off. We continue for another mile or two.
Yeah.
Maybe a mile. And then it was supposed to be another like just very short, steep, like 15-minute walk to the peak. But we're walking on the flat part, and that's when the weather took a turn for the worse.
Yeah.
And I remember like clear as day, I'm just walking. I'm tired. I'm cold. And like I just, I was getting really hot on my head, and I took my my balaclava off, and all the sweat froze on my head from the snow.
Yeah.
And I touched my head.
Frozen.
And yeah, my hair was frozen. And I was like, Max, do you see this crap? And I turn around and you were like knee deep in the snow.
Yeah, I was like, one second,
You were
man.
stretching. I think you were stretching or something.
I think I probably was.
You were like maybe only 15, 20 feet behind me. You weren't that far. And I could barely see you.
Yeah,
because
I could barely see you.
I hadn't really been paying attention, but all around us turned into a whiteout. We could not see where we were going and we could not see where we came from. And
Crazy shit.
we trudged on for maybe like 10 or 15 more minutes. And then I was looking at the map. It looked like we had at least 30, 40 minutes to get to the summit.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we're not going to see anything anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, it's getting really cold. It's getting a little late.
It was
Like, we're both
really
tired.
cold. I really wonder what temperature we were hiking at.
Yeah, my Apple Watch shut off.
Oh shit, really?
I don't know how cold it
I don't
was.
remember that.
Yeah, no, it just went black. I was like, okay.
Alrighty.
I'm broken.
All right, buddy, you do you. I remember my beer was frozen.
Yeah, your beard was frozen. You had
Yeah.
ice on your beard. I had
Yeah.
ice on my hair. And
We
yeah.
have video of that.
Yeah, I'm glad we took video because that was
Yeah.
funny. But I finally was like, man, I think we should go back. Like, as much as I want to go to the summit, I think we should turn around. Then we spent the next 3 hours
Going down.
going down, which was arguably harder than going up.
You think so?
On my knees and everything. And I was just getting so cold. Like, my problem is we were trying to go fast, so we were kind of like jogging. But sometimes you would jog and you get a big step that would just go down hardcore. Your leg would get jammed.
Yeah.
It felt like if you had the momentum and you kept going, like you were going to like break your leg or something.
Yeah.
Or hurt yourself because you're just getting stuck. Like,
No, and I feel like at this point you were like kind of like freaking out because like there was so much snow going into your boot that it was like your foot was already like wet.
oh, my
and
foot
then it was
soaked.
cold, and
It
you
was
were like,
cold.
"I'm gonna lose my foot."
yeah, no, it was getting really, really numb.
Yeah,
And most of the way down, I just left it like that. And when we finally got to some rocks where I could take a break, I plopped down, and I think it's a good spot. I don't know if you remember. It
Yeah.
was straight up mud.
yeah.
I
It was
sat
like
in mud.
lava rocks and mud, and like we just kind of like sat down, and it was very steep. Like you could fall, like not really fall, but like it was very steep, and we were like, okay, let's kind of take a break and let's eat. We were like eating the little bars,
Yeah,
the meal to goes.
I swapped my socks, and my toes were all red.
Yeah.
I could barely move them. They were so cold. I stretched them out, put new socks, put my boot back on. I was fine, but it was just really cold.
Yeah.
Like, I should have worn the other boots too. I had
Oh,
I had
the thick
mountaineering
ones?
boots in my backpack. I had an extra pair of boots and socks
In your backpack, you
my
hiked
backpack.
with it all the way up.
all the way up. I did not wear them and the crampons. We didn't use the crampons because I thought it was gonna get steeper or it was gonna be more icy.
Yeah, we
but-
had the crampons. Yeah.
but we didn't really need them because there was so much fresh snowpack.
What's funny is that my ice axe made it all the way up to that peak, but it never touched ice.
Yeah,
I never got out of the. You know what? Hold up. It's probably gonna be in the background soon. I'm gonna show it.
yeah. You should put it there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. At least you took it up there. I mean, if you didn't even take it, then I'd say just sell it to someone, like some poor sucker like me. But, I already bought your helmet and your crampons.
Yeah.
You didn't care for those.
Yeah. I mean, no, you didn't buy my helmet. You just kept it.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I bought the crampons.
Yeah, you bought the crampons for
Oh,
me.
I'll bring the helmet back.
Well, I think it's Oscar's now. No, he used it in one of your hikes in Cali or something, Colorado.
We didn't go to Cali.
No.
Oh, we went to Colorado, and I thought he might need it, but no, he didn't end up needing it.
Well, this ice axe I bought it for that trip, and it went all the way up to Shasha. Anyways, I can't pronounce it.
Sniffle Schnashna? Is that what you said?
I don't know the name. Okay,
It's like the sniffle
It's a
sniss.
it's a really weird language.
Peninsula, but I don't know what the name
Icelandic
of the mountain
is really really hard. Like I don't know, like what language can you know to learn Icelandic better? I don't think there's.
You could learn Icelandic.
You could just learn Icelandic, but like for example, like if you know Spanish, Portuguese is really easy.
Yeah,
You know?
or isn't
Like,
Italian?
I can
like,
understand
close?
Portuguese, kinda.
Yeah.
Because I know Spanish. But anyways, this made it all the way to the top, but it never touched ice. I think that's kind of funny.
It touched dirt though, didn't it? What is that on the top?
Well, it was just on the back. This is like from here, I think.
It's not Icelandic dirt.
I don't think so.
You're like, it's not black. It's not Icelandic dirt.
It's not black. Anyway.
You just hit the camera.
Yeah, I was like, let me not throw that.
Yeah, no, that was an interesting experience. And then we finally get back down, get to the car. We're both like starving because I had checked my phone.
I remember that.
It said we burned about 4,000 calories.
It said
climbing.
that we did, yeah.
I don't know how accurate that was, but we were going at it. It ended up being about a little over 10 miles. and about 3,000 feet of vertical gain.
Yeah.
3 to 4,000, something like 3,500.
Dude, do you think we lost weight on that trip? Because we ate like a lot.
No, we did eat a lot. I think we stayed the same.
We maintained
The body composition probably did not improve. It probably got a little worse from all the cardio and eating poorly and not weight training. But I mean, it was just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember I had lost a lot of weight right before that not right before the trip.
Yeah.
That's when I had like I was probably like the leanest I had been, and then we went on the trip, and then after that I regained quite a bit of weight. But
it's okay.
yeah,
It's alright.
it is what it is.
It is
No,
what it
I
is.
think when I came back, I was just like, oh, whatever. Like there was a lot of adjustments to be made with our life and school,
Yeah.
summer and everything.
And you moved
So,
out and yeah.
Yeah, so just a lot of stuff. But yeah, the hike was. I mean, would I do it again the same way? Definitely not.
What do you
But
mean the same way?
As in, like, would I have done it if I knew all those things were going to happen? I would not have recommended it, taking you up there. But it was a cool
definitely-
experience now.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not like if there was gonna be a whiteout, but we didn't know that at all. It was completely clear, like today. Like it was raining, and then like 30 minutes later, completely clear skies. It's like what? It was exactly like that.
Yeah, it was probably the most, like, bipolar weather I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, we were in the middle of it's basically a small island, and then we were on a peninsula. So we're surrounded by ocean. That was the kind of cool part about that hike is it's a dormant volcano.
Yeah.
Actually, and I think it's in that Journey to the Center of the Earth book. That's supposedly where the whole gate to the center of the Earth is.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there was something cool about it because you get to the summit, and you get to see ocean like on 3 sides, and then land behind you.
That's really cool.
It's very unique, but
I wish we would have summited. Well, I mean, we kind of did, but I wish we could have seen.
we could have seen.
Yeah.
I will definitely go back.
Like maybe this year, right?
Maybe this next year I'll see if I can go back. I don't know if I'll climb that one again. If anything, it'd be more like July or something, which doesn't get dark very much.
Oh, actually, yeah, you're going next year.
If I can. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see finances and life permitting. So
Yeah.
and travel. But yeah, there's a lot more travel I want to do. It was a lot of fun going to Iceland, but yeah, we had some interesting experiences. And then we ran into a blizzard a few days later. We were driving, and
That was the worst, dude. I was actually like scared.
yeah, no, we were driving, and we took what Google told us was the fastest route to get between these 2 places because we needed to get to a campsite to actually sleep somewhere for real for the night. And we drive like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, and it starts snowing significantly.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where we cannot see the road anymore.
Anything. Yeah.
It was
Nothing.
pure white, like all over the road. For a while, it was just kind of like haze. Like you could see the black, but I don't know where the edges of the road are anymore. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable driving because I've been driving pretty much the whole way up until this point on the actual like non-city roads. And
Yeah, because you said you wanted to drive on the none of the cities, and I was gonna drive on this in the cities.
yeah. That's kind of how he did it. Because I didn't mind. I didn't mind driving the F roads. It was just it
one
got
time.
nasty, and we finally get to this one open field. The road completely disappears. It turns into white.
Yeah.
For I don't even know how far. I had to be like a football field length at least.
I don't know.
It was long,
I don't
like 100 yards or so, and we see this van that was just like stuck, like completely sideways in the snow.
Yeah. Well, we have video.
Yeah, there's a video.
Yeah, I recorded because you were panicking.
I was like, now's not the time for the vlog. You're like, now's the perfect time for the vlog.
Yeah. Like anyways, yeah. So I'm so glad that I got that footage now. What happened was, well, essentially that, like we see a van. It's like completely stuck in the snow, and we see like this other car like helping, and they're kind of like shoveling the snow, so they can get the car to move. And we're like, fuck, like what do we do? Like we can't pass because they're like in the middle of the road, like we just can't pass. Yeah. So I start recording. I get my camera out, right?
You're the typical. You're like there's like something bad going on. And you're just
I'm like camera, and I start recording in the car. I'm like, what do we do? And then Steven's like, right now it's not the time to record, man. And I was like, no, right now is the perfect time to record.
I was panicking. I thought it was serious. I was like, dude,
no,
I didn't know how we're gonna turn around.
No,
These
it
roads
was
are
serious.
narrow.
It was serious.
You're like, and I wanted to record it.
Yeah, no, and I was just recording it. And anyway, so we're like, you know what? Let's go and help. And I was like, in case anything happens, we have footage. So I leave like the phone or the camera there, like recording the outside in case anything happens. So we go out there, we kind of try to help, but we actually no help. Like we don't have shovels, we don't have anything. And they were actually like shoveling with like, wasn't it like kayak? Like I don't know what they were.
I thought they had snow shovels. That's what I thought it looked like, but I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but they were trying to like. Anyway, we tried to help, and the guy was like, "You know what, dude? Like, please, like, just there's no service here. Go back into the town, get service, and call what their 911 equivalent.
Yeah, like they call the police. Like,
yeah,
ask for
like
help.
their 911 equivalent, which was 112, right?
Something like that.
Something like that. And we're like, "Are you sure?" He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right." And this guy was like shaking, like it was so cold.
Yeah.
It was so cold that this guy like. A local, you know, yeah, he was like, I'm fucking freezing, and yeah, so they didn't want to be there anymore. But there was no way to get this van out of there.
I wish we had rope. We probably could have pulled them out, but
I'm not sure because like we were also like
we didn't have great
slipping.
traction.
I mean, we had a 4x4, but like our car was like, yeah, we were not getting any traction at all.
That's true.
Anyway, yeah, I
We
remember
probably
it was
needed chains at that point, to be honest.
probably.
But it was just so bizarre because from what I had heard, that was like the most snow they had gotten in any quote unquote summer or spring condition in like the last 10 to 15 years. I'm like,
No
this
way.
would happen
To
when
us.
we go.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that is my kind of luck. Maybe it's me because I've had a lot of bad luck
Oh,
on
yeah?
my travels over the years.
Well, that's the thing, because you were like, oh yeah, well, let's just go in spring, because like, you know, like late spring, because you know, it's just not snowy, and
There's less people.
yeah.
It's not as expensive.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's not snowy. It's like you basically get summer conditions without summer crowds.
Yeah, so
Which we didn't see a lot of crowds, but
we didn't, but essentially that's why we went, right?
that was the idea. And then it ended up snowing a lot.
Yeah,
And we basically got to see Iceland, what it looks like in both winter and spring. We didn't really see summer conditions because it was not like it was green anywhere. It was always cold, always cloudy.
Wasn't it green? Yeah, there was a lot of green, man.
There was a lot of green, but I guess I mean like it was never sunny. I think there was only like one day. I think we never saw a sunset there. Only like once when we were at.
Well, also because
Kirchhoff.
like we only had 3 hours of darkness.
Yeah, I guess what I mean is like it was never clear in the evening. It was always like clouded over, except for maybe one day
Yeah.
when I think it wasn't that bad. But
Anyway, so we just go back. We go back to the town, and I'm calling 112, and I'm like, and I feel like on their end, it sounds like a horror, like film type, like a weird vibe, because I'm like, like it's just like cutting out. I can hear them cut out, and my signal's going off, and I'm like, hey, there's this car over here on this road. They're completely stuck. We need somebody to go out there, and like the call just fails, like in the middle of me saying that, and I call them again. They're like, hey. I'm like, hey, it's me again, and they're like, let me contact you with the police, and then I'm like, okay, I guess, and then they transfer me to the police, and I'm saying the exact same story. I'm like, okay, they're in this road. Anyway, so we're like, we're no good there, so we just go back to the town, and we just hope for the best. And to this day, I don't know what happened to them.
I don't know either. And then all of the campsites were closed, and we could not find any hotels that even had vacancy. So we had to just kind of park somewhere and take a nap essentially overnight. We just parked, and
Which was illegal.
I don't think it's definitely frowned upon. You're not supposed to do that, but I mean the thing is what were we supposed to do? Our route was completely snowed in.
Yeah.
Like we were tired. We've been driving for hours at that point. That was a
no
long
camps.
drive.
Yeah, and no hotels.
And yeah, everything was full. Like we were supposed to be getting to another camp, we just couldn't. So we were just like, well, we're just gonna park like here in this like field.
Yeah.
I guess, and
Well,
try to not bother anybody. Pulled off the side of a road and just take a nap.
We kind of found a spot that was like in like a little bit like where the town ended, or like where the roads ended. We parked there. We just fell asleep, knocked out. And granted, you lost your mask like very early in the trip.
I did, like the second day.
Yeah, like you left it on the Airbnb, I think, and
I had to keep covering my face with like various clothes items so that I could actually sleep because of how bright it was at nighttime.
yeah,
I mean, it got dark, but only by like 1 or 2 in the morning.
yeah, which was already too late. But yeah, that mask really came in clutch. It was 100% like 100%
Blackout.
blackout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably the last like crazy thing we had. I mean, we did some other like hikes around that were cool.
But we did the plane.
Oh, that's right. The plane was crazy. I'm surprised. I don't know how we got that place to ourselves, because I had told you, I was like, dude, for sure this thing's gonna be packed. And sure enough, we were walking up to it, and I mean, you saw it, the parking lot was full.
It was a lot of people.
There was like easily 40, 50 people all walking there with us, and
I think more, dude.
At
They
least
were just like spread out.
Yeah, that's true. But there were a lot of people coming back too. So it's hard for me to gauge. But then I do remember, and then like there's like motorcade of like freaking a 4x4 driver shows up and they're all wearing bright orange.
Yes.
And we were like,
I was
oh,
like,
we're not gonna take
"Fuck,
pictures.
this looks really bad for like the footage." I mean, selfishly, right?
Yeah, of course, because it's like you're getting mad being at a location. You're like, oh, why are there so many people here?
It's like, bro,
you're one of those people.
yeah, like
You know?
you're like, this is you, man.
It is selfish, but and I understand. And sometimes I'm like that at the store. I'm like, why are there so many people getting groceries at this time? I'm like, I'm getting groceries at this time too. You just have to put it in perspective.
Anyway, so yeah, basically, like this plane wreck is a very touristy spot, right? I guess you can call it that. Like
Super.
And we just kind of get there and like it's kind of packed, and we're like, okay, like I guess we're not gonna get like amazing footage,
Yeah.
or pictures, or we're really gonna have to
Anything.
Photoshop the pictures, and then everyone just leaves.
It was weird, and no one came back for like
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yeah, and we're like as soon as everybody like clears out, like I tell Steven, let's get footage and pictures right now.
Yeah.
Fuck the vlog. Like I can vlog with people. I'm like,
Yeah.
let's do this. So we fucking get the drones in the air. Like we're like keeping
The wind. The
yeah,
wind was ridiculous.
The wind, dude. I almost lost my drone. I felt like I almost lost it. I didn't almost lose it, but I felt like I almost did.
That was for sure the windiest place I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
Every single day was crazy, like
Yeah.
knock you over. Especially in the southern part of Iceland was especially
Yeah.
windy.
No, but like you were not gonna fly your drone at all.
I wasn't going to, and I saw you did it, and I was
Yeah.
like, well,
I was like, look,
I'll
man,
fly it.
I can like lose my drone, or like regret that I didn't fly it.
yeah,
So I was like, I'm gonna fly it, and I got really cool footage.
yeah. You got a bunch. I
Yeah.
didn't really take very many shots. I took one or two. But
Yeah, but yeah, no, but no, that's not the where you got the picture that we'll get to that story. The picture that I want to print of yours with your signature and everything. But I got like a really cool picture from the plane, like from on top, and I think you got the same one, right?
yeah,
Kinda?
I think I did the same one also.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody does get that one, but I really want to print it. I don't know, it's just
It's cool.
super nice.
Yeah, that was
Um,
crazy. I was surprised. And then we took portraits of you too. Like,
we took pictures of each other.
yeah, and there was the hole in the ceiling that had like the light shaft coming
Yeah.
down. I remember I was like, man, this looks bad because you
Yeah.
were just standing there. And I was like, the background's clipped, like you're super dark. And then I was like, Mac, just start moving around or something. Like,
Yeah.
And you took a step back, and I was like, oh, there was like a key light.
Stay right there. Yeah.
There was like a soft box,
Yeah.
essentially right above you. And I was like, this looks
coming in.
cool.
Yeah.
So then you took a step back, and yeah, I think that made it.
And we took that
Lot
portrait
better.
that's on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was super
That
cool.
one was cool. Yeah, if there wasn't that hole in the ceiling of the plane, I don't think it would have worked.
Yeah.
You would have had to need some sort of strobe or something, but
Something like
we should
that.
have taken a strobe.
No.
I think that would have been cool.
Would have been cool, but
for the
like,
stuff that's
nah.
close, for the stuff that was close to the car, I wouldn't have hiked with it because of how heavy it is.
Yeah, it's really heavy. and-
Actually, maybe not because you need a third person because how windy it is. There's no way.
Yeah. No, especially like after the bulb broke. I don't wanna. No.
Yeah, like move it too much.
Yeah, I don't wanna. Nah, I don't wanna deal with it.
That's true.
But yeah, I remember you were taking portraits of me, and then I was like, okay, like let me take portraits of you because we're already here, and you were like, yeah, fuck it. Even though you're not a big fan of pictures, right? But you're like, alright, fuck it, you know? And
Yeah,
I was like,
I'm not super comfortable. on
yeah.
camera, to be
But I
honest.
was like, bro, we're here, and you were like, alright, whatever. So you're probably glad that I made you because now you have them.
I actually don't have them.
No, you do.
I don't know where they
I
are.
sent them to you.
Where?
You didn't send me my shots.
No, I have all of them unedited, raw on an SSD still.
Yeah, but I sent them. I sent yours.
Did you really? Actually,
Yeah.
I don't remember
They're,
them at all.
they're probably on the drive. I don't know how I got them to you, but I think they're on the
I
drive.
think they're on like some phantom Google Drive photo that I can't folder that I can't find anymore.
Maybe. But I still have all the raws on me. Anyway, so yeah, and then I take this portrait of you, and I'm like, can you get this exact same composition of me? And you were like, yeah, whatever. And I think that's the one like
Yeah,
that made
same
it to
thing.
Instagram. It just looks so cool, man. Like really fucking cool. And yeah,
But I found the lighting though.
you found the lighting. Yeah.
I'm just joking.
No, you
No.
did. Like I was like, Steven, like stay where you
I know.
said. I was like,
Like,
I think I found
cut
it.
the headroom here
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I think I found it. And I
What
was
you
like,
wanted.
Yeah,
That's cool. And you took your jacket too. That's cool.
that jacket is really cool.
But
it smelled really fucking bad.
yeah, it held the sweat in.
It
that
held
seat.
everything
I think
in.
I remember like you were like tread on for a pic, and I put it on, and I was like,
It smells like shit.
I was like, dude. I was like, I thought my clothes smelled dank, which they did. The hiking clothes smelled worse than that.
Yeah,
But in terms of like normal clothes, because that was when we were in the city, I was just like, damn.
it's because I was wearing that jacket like I think
Hiking
every
also.
day.
Yeah. You
Oh,
were,
hiking?
Yeah, I think you wore it hiking because you were
fuck.
just like, it's warm, and you're like, put it
Yeah.
on and put other shit on.
Yeah, I really like that jacket.
That's cool. But yeah, the plane was really cool. And then we went to that Viking graveyard.
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool.
The film set?
He was,
Oh,
No.
the graveyard.
yeah,
Yeah.
the cemetery on top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if it's considered a mountain because it's not.
It's like a hill,
that
right?
big.
And the cliff.
Yeah, I think it was about 1,000 feet of vertical gain or 800.
Mm.
I don't remember what it was called. They've actually filmed a scene from Rogue One there.
Yes,
down
like,
on the beach that we took
yeah.
some photos at. But
Yeah.
We climbed up like this. It was pretty steep actually.
It
I remember it was pretty steep because it just goes straight up this like big hill.
And it was a longer hike than expected.
I thought it was gonna be super quick. It took us like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like, hey
to an
man,
hour.
are we ever getting there?
I thought it was gonna be like 15.
Yeah.
But no, and then I actually looked at the average time on all trails and it was longer than that.
Oh shit.
Maybe we can put it up because I think we got up there pretty fast, relatively.
And this is the graveyard of the second Viking settler in Iceland, right?
Of Iceland. Yeah, he's buried on top.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so,
we were there.
so that was cool.
And we got footage.
It was near Vic.
But I was like, you told me that place was allegedly haunted.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe it, but they said it was supposedly haunted. I think I flew my drone off of the top too, and I was getting chased by seagulls.
Yeah, you were. I remember.
Like,
No, it's
this
because
sucks.
that's when you flew your drone like really far, right?
I did fly really far.
Yeah, and I was like, man, you're ballsy.
No, in Vesterhorn, I flew the drone really, really like far away.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
film set, right?
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
I actually didn't take many photos of the film site because I had that excavator up back, which looked kind of
Yeah, they
weird.
did.
But I was trying to get footage of the mountain and like I like flew it over the top of the mountain. Like
You did?
I did like to
No
the other
way.
side, not the very peak because my drone was maxing out.
Okay.
But I flew it. There's a ridge line. Or maybe we can put like a little circle where I
Probably,
flew it
yeah.
over,
Yeah, yeah.
or the footage or a picture or something. I flew over this side, and you could see the valley like going down and into the river and everything, or the ocean. It was cool.
I remember. Dude,
But-
we got really cool footage there as well.
Imagine if we had nice sunsets. Like there was like cool lighting.
Yeah, that would have been badass.
Like if there was like awesome lighting in a lot of those places, and that would have been really cool. We didn't go to that crack.
Which one?
We were gonna in the peninsula. We were gonna go to like this. Remember we were driving past and it was like there's a giant
yeah.
crack like in the.
Yeah.
But we were just both so tired.
Yeah, we were.
No, we have been going for hours and hours every day.
And like the thing is, like on day maybe like 1 through 5, we were like stopping at every little location that we saw
Everything.
for a potential picture. Like every 20 minutes, maybe every 10, we like not even like 20.
I think that was our
we'd
thing.
Stop.
Yeah, like we could
Yeah.
not make any progress driving because we kept stopping everywhere
Yeah.
because it was just so cool.
Yeah,
Like, we were
like-
like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so we would take like pictures and fly the drone, and then we were like, "Look, man, we're gonna have to stop doing this." And we were like, "Yeah,
Yeah, the exception we made is I think we were maybe like 2 or 3 hours driving away from that peninsula that we had stayed at, and we were trying to get to Akiuri,
okay.
which was the first time we had to deal with snow driving.
Yeah.
Right before we got to Akiuri, and that was
Yeah.
kind of scary. But I remember I was just driving, and I think you were like changing music on your phone or something. We were like in the middle of nowhere, and I just like glanced like left, and I see the ocean, and there's like crap tons of islands. Like there's just like a lot of super small islands like everywhere, and I was like, that's crazy. And I see this one island just off the coast that has a small beach on it, and there's like a ship just like wrecked on the beach.
Oh yeah,
And I was like, bro, look at this. I was like, is that a ship? And you look and you're like, yeah, man.
yeah." I was like, "That looks weird." I was like, "I think it's a ship."
Yeah, and then so we find a spot, we pull over, and there's like this little path that just goes all the way down to the coastline.
Yeah,
And we're like just like hopping on rocks the whole way there because
Yeah.
it was very wet. We were trying not to get like our boots soaked
Yeah.
again.
no, and the patterns like from the drone that we were like walking
bizarre.
on, weird,
It was really weird.
really weird patterns on the soil.
Yeah,
or the ground.
So we
whatever.
flew our drones out to get footage and photos of because we could not get close to the shipwreck. It would have been really cool to get up next to it, but you would have needed
Yeah,
like a canoe and
yeah.
like to go out, and that would have been kind of crazy.
Yeah, we were flying our drones like
Maybe next time.
how many like football fields do you think it was like out like at the shipwreck? Maybe 3, maybe 2.
And Americans, am I right? They measure everything with
With
stuff,
football.
but except the metric system.
Yes.
They're like, yeah,
Football
man,
fields.
it's about like 204,000 rolls of toilet paper. That's what it is. How many cups of coffee do you think the island was?
The island.
Island.
Roughly like 2 million.
I don't know. if you say this is like 5-6 inches, then you know it's like okay, maybe 2 of these is roughly a foot, 3 of these is a yard. If you're saying 3 football fields, we
Yeah,
got
3 football. I don't know why. It's just like a nice measurement. Like,
It's
oh
kinda
yeah,
funny.
3 football fields.
It sounds cooler than just saying like, yeah, it was about 600 feet or 800 feet or 900 feet or.
But
1,000
anyways,
feet,
we
you know?
we did fly the drone quite a bit, and then we were all the way out there, and we were just getting the footage and taking pictures, and that's when you got the shot that I want to print with your signature.
Oh, that was
on
cool.
It.
Yeah, that was a cool shot. I mean, we both took a lot of shots. So I did like some of yours that I didn't get to take. I just flew my drone really high up.
And I was actually very conscious of like, okay, if you get the shot, you came up with it. I'm like, I'm not gonna go ahead and take the same shot. Like I was very conscious. I didn't want to take the same shots that you did because I was like,
well, I think you had already started. You brought your because I flew my drone out later than you. I was trying to get a photo with camera.
I think so,
it wasn't turning out that well because we were just too far away, even with 200 mil.
Yeah.
So then I think by the time you were bringing your drone back in, I was barely like taking some like of the top, and that's when it started snowing.
Oh really?
Yeah. No, there's snow.
Yeah.
There's snow in the picture. There's like a bunch of like white streaks everywhere.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got my drone back in with like just enough battery to land and not. It's because the thing is once you fly over a body of water like that, I mean, you have to get your drone back in time because if it runs out of battery, I mean, what is it gonna do? It's gonna fall out in the water.
It's just,
auto land.
Yeah, it's gonna auto land on the water.
It's gone.
Yeah, and the water was fucking freezing.
Yeah, either way, it's not gonna float. Like, there's no way you're gonna go get
like
it.
that's it. Like, I
it's
mean,
gone.
Probably would you care more? Like, I would like want to at least get the micro SD card inside the drone.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get it.
You're not gonna get it.
No, and there's no telling how deep the water was. The shipwreck was cool though. I actually searched online to find somebody else who had taken a photo of it. Could not find it anywhere.
Just one picture.
Yeah, only like one photo with no description of anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we know where it is.
We know where it is. But we probably shouldn't.
No, we probably shouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
I'm sure like. I mean, it's not that hard to find. It was on a back road, but it was kind of like painfully evident. But it's cool. It was really cool.
I mean, you can see it from the road that you're driving on, but you really have to be paying attention because I would have never seen it. Like you just caught it.
Well, it was on the driver's side.
Yeah.
If you're going like towards Akiari, but
yeah,
it was cool. Like we just took this back road and we see a shipwreck, and I was like, that was probably one of the weirdest things because we were supposed to see one on our trip, and we kind of skipped over a big portion of the trip to kind of the weather because of the weather. Yeah. And the mileage but we ended up seeing one anyway, so it was cool.
Yeah. So I mean, so we found a shipwreck in Iceland that almost nobody
and a plane wreck.
But like we found a shipwreck that almost nobody knows about.
Yeah, that was cool because it wasn't expected. I think that was probably one of my like highlights of just because it was like, oh, I wasn't expecting to find anything like that. So that was a cool part of the day. We did spend a good like hour and a half walking out there, filming pictures, coming back. So it did add to our trip, and I think we got it late at night, so it was quite tiring, but it was a lot of fun.
It was worth it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And then it was in Akari where like we saw the little heart red lights. The heart red lights.
Oh, remember? That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. They were like little hearts, and actually I kind of know why. They have those heart lights. Igloo told me she told me that they had like this massive like heart, and then something happened. It just got shut off, and like everybody was like really bummed out, so they just put them on the red lights. Really? Yeah, something like that.
You would think it would be easier to just put the heart, like whatever that she was talking about before, just to rewire it than it would be to replace every single stop in the whole city.
But I don't know what happened, but like everybody, like it was like a really big deal in the city, like having that big heart, and then something happened. I forgot the story, honestly. I'm probably like just
you have to ask her again.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, so that's why they have the little heart lights. So I thought that was super cool. You know, like I've never seen hard red lights. You know,
no,
it's like that's cool. Like, oh, okay. And yeah, so
I'm trying to think if there was anything else crazy that happened. I mean, we saw a lot of cool stuff, but
I mean, the basalt.
Was cool. The icebergs floating out of a lake down a river onto a beach.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Yeah, man.
And then there was seals in the water.
And then you took pictures of me on an iceberg.
Yeah, So you stood on top of the iceberg, and I was just waiting with long exposure for water to hit in the background, and it like splashed and kind of did like a long exposure blur.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
And you never edited that picture.
I have all of them raw. I will give them to you.
Thank you, please. If you had your SSD on you, that'd be great, but you don't.
I know.
Fuck.
I will see you again though. So
maybe not.
More than likely.
It's likely, but you never know.
The podcast just cuts off.
What else did we experience in Iceland?
I mean, like it was a lot of time there, but it's been a while. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that really stands out, but I can't remember.
I think that was about it.
It was all the hikes we went on. I don't think we were so gassed from those. We did those two hikes back. By the way, the snow one and the waterfall were back to back. I'm surprised we did that. We landed, then the next day drove like several hours, hiked for several hours, drove for several hours, slept overnight, hiked for several hours, slept, and then drove more hours, and it was just like nonstop.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had like a 4-hour hike day before, and then like a 8-hour hike next day.
Yeah, but I feel like we got like most of like the hard stuff out of the way.
Yeah,
really,
and
really
then it
fast.
was just driving. It was just the driving that was hard, at least for me.
And the other hikes were like just like completely flat, but they were still kind of long, just to like go see stuff like the basalt and
The basalt took a while, but it was flat. It wasn't particularly hard at all.
And yeah, so
And that stuff was cool.
it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, even the hill, like, yeah, that was uphill, but it was short. So
Yeah.
it was longer than we thought, but it was still not.
Yeah,
Super
the
hard.
the graveyard, you mean?
Yeah, I
the
thought my
tunnel?
legs were gonna be super sore, but they only felt bad after those 2 days, like back to back of
And then boom.
intense climbing, and it felt bad the next day, and then afterwards I was okay.
Yeah.
But
They actually had a really good amount of vegan friendly food. I'm surprised.
yeah, I guess just not their I don't want to call it indigenous, but I guess not their native food, because I think they eat like fermented shark meat over there. I
Oh,
don't know
really?
what it's called. I was not down to try it.
I didn't even read that on the menu.
Yeah, well, I don't think we ate any native Icelandic food either.
Wait, it's all like Americanized.
I had a hot dog
Yeah.
that was an Icelandic hot dog. I don't know what was inside of it, to be honest. It wasn't that great.
I just kept on getting veggie burgers and matzo sticks.
Yeah,
All that.
we ate pretty bad,
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
but we were walking every single day, like so. I guess it kind of offset it, but
yeah.
we'll have to see. Maybe Max Trejo will come with me on another trip sometime. For now, I'm gonna have to go on them alone.
Well,
You're
here's
all,
the
you're all
thing, man.
hiked out.
I'm down to go to Iceland again. I don't think I want to go to Africa, just because how expensive it is, and like I don't want to get that shot, and I don't want to.
You actually, it's funny.
I don't want to hike for 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
It's not 2 weeks.
Oh, how long is it?
It's 7 days.
I don't want to hike for 7
Yeah.
days.
So I found out that the yellow fever vaccine is no longer required.
Oh,
And I was
really?
kind of like, really?
You're like, fuck, I got it. I feel like
Yeah,
shit.
because I went to my house and I was clearing out stuff, and I look and I find my yellow fever vaccine. So that's when I kind of started thinking about doing Kilimanjaro again, because it's been a few years since I planned the first trip. I planned it in 2019, which has been a while. And then I finally like check.
Is that yours? Yeah?
It is.
Oh, did you take that?
No, it's Victor.
Oh, Call him.
I'll tell him to hop on.
yeah. Call him. Be like, hey, we're doing the podcast that you were supposed to be on.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, sure. I'm on the podcast right now as we're speaking. So
Oh my God, hold up.
yeah, you're on speaker. You're coming out.
Anyways, that was a small break.
Little break. Sponsor break. Sponsored by United, a Star Alliance group, or something like that.
What if we actually wanted to do like a United Airlines ad? What would we like say?
We would have to get some spec planes.
Spec planes.
Just
United, can you provide us with some planes?
some planes. We have an advertisement we want to do. They actually had a pretty well designed
it
video. Remember, we were watching it. The video. We would put it up, but it would probably get copyrighted.
Yeah, but
It's
we watched it
for
like
the
maybe
safety.
like 6 times.
It got old.
Yeah.
But the first time I was like, dang, this is significantly more entertaining than watching the flight attendants being like,
Yeah.
buckle your seatbelts.
But it was pretty long.
It was a little
pretty
bit long, but
yeah.
they had good transitions though.
Yeah, it did. It
Yeah,
was a
good-
really well shot video.
Yeah.
I was like, this is on production. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that cost a lot of money to make.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot.
Their
But
budget was huge for that video, but it was pretty well shot and pretty
Yeah.
well edited.
I know. Well, you need to come with me on some trips then. That's what I'm
Bro,
saying.
I don't want to spend money. I just have this
Nah,
weird
that's true.
feeling that I need to save a lot of money. I don't know why.
I'm sure you do.
Like, I don't know why. I just have this weird
Just
feeling that
that
I need
you
to save
just
money.
don't spend money on gear right after you have what you need.
I just
and
want
then
that
That's
lens.
what you do.
I just want that.
I guess that's why I feel a bit more comfortable now. I'm like, okay, as long as I don't buy gear, then I can travel.
Yeah. Gears is really expensive.
But I mean, the travel is so infrequent too that it's not horrible, especially if you're like watching how you're spending money out there.
Well, look, why aren't we planning just to go to Norway this next coming summer?
I mean, it's possible.
But I think you're gonna go back to Iceland because you're already gonna be in London, so might as well.
I mean, either way, I'm sure there's flights that you can get going either direction. I don't think it matters a whole lot.
And then you also wanted to do South Africa.
South Africa.
I don't know where the mountain is. I thought it was in South Africa.
No, it's actually it's in Central Africa.
Oh,
It's in Tanzania.
in Tanzania.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's on that side. Well, I think it's considered Eastern Africa or Central Eastern.
You're going to Tanzania.
Yeah.
That's where our professor, teacher from high school was.
Was he?
Yeah, Mr. Nguma. He was from Tanzania.
Oh no, I didn't know that. No, I know a lot of people that moved to the Valley. A lot of them are from Nigeria. That seems to be like common, but I don't know if it's just because it's very populated or a lot of them end up moving over here.
I'm not sure, but they know how to party.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We did that wedding.
We did that wedding. It was really fun for me. I really enjoyed it.
I like it was a cool experience, but I will say the DJ the music was just so loud.
Too loud. It's
I
because
need to start bringing earplugs, man.
we were super close to the speakers.
Not only that, dude. Like I feel like if we don't start protecting our ears, like we're gonna be like 40 or like 30, and we'll be like, I can't hear anything.
What?
Yeah, from all the weddings, like every weekend almost.
Yeah, they get pretty tiring, man.
It's not good on your ears for sure.
Especially because when you shoot, you gotta shoot. I mean, close to the speakers, kind of. Like in the reception, like sometimes you just gotta be.
Well, they always put us at the tables in the back that happen to be right next to speakers because nobody wants to sit there.
That happens pretty often.
If we get a table.
That happens pretty often.
Yeah, or if we get fed, like if we even get a place to sit down, because half the time we get a table and then we get our table taken by other guests, which I understand. They're just trying to find a place to sit, but at the same time, then our equipment gets moved and like people are spilling stuff everywhere. It's just like we really need a place to put our stuff.
Yeah,
where we can like see what's going on, and but it's a whole nother rant.
Yeah,
that'll be the wedding podcast.
The wedding podcast.
We'll get Brendan, Oscar, and
we'll get Brandon and Oscar. I just need to buy another mic then.
Yeah, at least one more. Oh, you have another one there. I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, I have one more mic. That's when I have two guests.
Or you guys get on. No, I'll switch.
No.
You're right.
No, man, because you already made me buy that piece of hardware, and I might as well use it.
I actually didn't know that the difference was just the recording. It's kind of ridiculous that they charge you like 4 times more money or 3 times more money just so you can record.
Just so they can be able to record 4 channels. And the other one only switches.
Yeah.
The only
On the bright side, I guess you don't have to run into the computer if you don't want to, right?
Which is awesome. Because when I was doing with the Elgato Camp Links, I was
I needed
3 computers.
Issues. Yeah. Oh, that's ridiculous.
3 computers to record all 3 angles.
I know. We needed a flashback to our Hot Wing podcast.
Yeah, I mean, not
Hot Wing, Hot Chip.
Hot Chip.
Maybe we can do the Hot Wings, but then that's exactly like the vegan wings.
I was just like, come on, bro.
I said vegetarian wings.
Vegetarian, as long as you're vegetarian.
They have them. You can get cauliflower wings or something like that. You can.
Oh, dude, my friend ordered.
You can't taste the chicken anyway.
My vegetarian, vegetarian. He's vegetarian still. Oh, he got like wings at what's the big restaurant right there by the mall? That's like kind of like it's like.
Big in the restaurant mall. Inside the mall.
It's kind of like inside, but it's like it's open when the mall is closed. It's kind of like they share a wall. It's just there, within the same building. It's
in the new part of the mall.
Yeah, you know which one? The one in the middle.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Okay, well that one. He ordered cauliflower wings, and like he started eating them, and he's like, "Oh yeah, these are good." And then like the waitress comes and he's like, "Sir, I'm so sorry, we served you chicken wings." He got so pissed. He was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, and yeah.
But is he vegetarian like for
like me?
Oh, okay, but like ethical reasons or
kinda.
Oh, okay.
So it's like he got really pissed.
Oh, okay, but he used to eat meat.
I think he was eating meat, but like the thing is, he had never tasted cauliflower wings, so he didn't know what they tasted like. So he thought they were cauliflower wings, and
but
it's been so long since he's eaten meat.
They don't have the texture of real meat. Like
I understand, but like he's never eaten them, so he thought it was like okay, like I trust that I'm getting served what I ordered.
Have you had quote unquote cauliflower mashed potatoes?
I haven't.
They do not taste like mashed potatoes. That's all I'm saying. The texture's not the same. The taste is not the same. That's for keto people though.
The only like imitations that I've had is the veggie burgers that I have in the freezer.
That's soy. Yeah.
No, they're black bean burgers.
Oh, they're black bean?
Black bean
I thought they were soy.
No, they're black bean and other things.
Other chemicals and miscellaneous
it ends up
ingredients.
being like less healthy,
You like I look at the back of the package and the list of ingredients is incredibly long.
It's like, please do not consume this.
It's like an 8-page dissertation.
It's like,
what is
like,
inside?
you need to sign a waiver before you consume this, sir.
Well, have you seen? It actually says known in the state of California to cause cancer. It's a proposition 65. No, you're like, oh, okay.
All right.
Just don't move to Cali. You won't get cancer.
You're right.
You only get cancer if you eat that food in California. If you eat the same food in Texas, you don't get cancer.
How does that work, Steven?
It doesn't. This is a joke.
I know.
Sarcasm.
I wanted you to keep going with the joke. That's why. I think should we wrap it up?
Yeah. Maybe we'll do another podcast once I convince you to go to some miscellaneous third world country with me.
You want me to go to Tanzania just to hike for a week and spend all this money?
A decent amount. It'd be a good experience though.
It would be a good experience, but I don't look, man. I know you're vegetarian. Look, here's the thing though. If it was up to me, I probably wouldn't have done those hikes in Iceland, because I don't.
Probably not.
I'm not you're like a hiking enthusiast, and you're the only reason why I hike, because you drag me along.
Yeah.
And you're like, we're doing this, man, and I'm like, fuck it, and I just do it because you're my buddy. But if I was like alone, or like let's just say like I have a girlfriend, like I wouldn't just be like, should we just go hike? For like 8 hours? Yeah. It's like, I wouldn't. Yeah. I'm just doing it because but I don't think I'm down to hike for 7 days.
You get the photos.
Yeah.
You would get really nice photos. Actually,
you would
highly considering taking
the drone?
No, you can't take the drone.
Fuck.
You can't fly the drone there. It's illegal.
Completely illegal.
It's completely illegal.
Fudge.
Wait, and not only that, it's unlikely your drone would perform well at all at that altitude.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
So, like, the higher you go up, not only is there, it's not that there's less oxygen. I think the oxygen content in the air is the same, from my understanding. But the effect on your body is that there's essentially less oxygen that you get with every breath because the air pressure is lower, right? So you have lower air pressure, making it harder to breathe.
So what does
That's
that
why
mean
they say. So for people, that means at the summit of Kilimanjaro, you get about 40% of the oxygen that you get down here.
And then the drone can't breathe properly.
No,
it's
so the air itself, right? There has a low air pressure.
Yeah.
I don't know for certain, but it has something to do with the density. Like your drone has trouble getting thrust, like maintaining its ability to hover, because the air is less dense.
Oh.
The higher you go up, from my understanding.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I remember I took Roman's drone. He lent it to me, and I took it into.
It just fell.
To Pico de Orizaba in Mexico. I was at 14,000 feet, and I flew this little DJI Spark. And
but come on, it's a DJI Spark.
I know, dude, but it flies decent down here, and it was struggling. Like, it sounded horrible.
You're like,
yeah, and I was like, no, I literally took it up like 20 feet. I was like, this thing is not flying well at all, and I put it back down, and I googled it, and they were like, yeah, it's like just it's not a thing.
Just like, don't do that, please.
Now, recently there's been some drone footage of Everest. I don't know what drones they're using. It's crazy to me, because Everest is 29 feet.
Like footage of the summit?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, they took it all the way up there, and they flew it from almost 30,000 feet elevation, which is crazy to me. I don't know how.
They must be like really big drones then that run on gas.
I don't know. Gas?
There's some that you put gas on them, no? Like, you actually put gasoline?
Gasoline?
Yeah. And they start. No? Am I wrong?
I don't think I've seen that before.
Come on.
I've never seen that before.
Yes.
I thought they were all battery powered. That's crazy.
Check it out. Let me see.
Are you talking about like from DJI?
No.
Are you talking? Like, okay, like pre-built, like.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Check it out.
It's all jet fuel powered drones. Either I learned something new, or you're gonna look real stupid right now.
There are gas-powered drones that drive their rotors directly from the engine using a complex drive system. The Nitro Stingray 500 works this way, and it's also notable for being a collectible pitch drone.
How much are they?
With each rotor capable of independent pitch adjustments. Gas-powered drones, they're really.
They're like 15,000.
I don't know.
25,000.
Yet lithium-ion batteries have energy density 100 times less than gasoline. So instead of having enough power for 30 minutes or flight, you have enough energy for 50 hours of flight. That doesn't account for the engine's extra weight. But yeah, they are gas-powered drones.
Interesting. I guess, right? Because you got to think about how much power you're getting per like gram of weight. But the thing is that then you have an engine that's separate from the actual like drone itself, right?
I don't know, but
and
I'm not gonna say any more
gasoline.
shit though, because like you doing that, since you're like the guy that kind of like knows about gear the most, I started doubting my whole like my whole life when you were like gas, and I was like, huh.
No, I just never heard of that before. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly possible, or it seems like it's a thing, but I haven't seen that like with.
They run on gas.
I mean, even the DJI like Air Peak is battery powered, and that carries like a Sony A7S III and a
that's
gimbal
crazy.
and like a Ronin S2.
Is it like that really big one?
Yeah, like it's like
That runs-
$8,000 or $10,000.
That runs on lithium battery?
Yeah, it's like a normal battery,
Wow.
from my understanding. And
I would assume that runs on gas, but I don't think DJI does anything that runs on gas.
I don't think so either.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess it'd be kind of hard to keep track of your fuel consumption in the air. You're like, we're out.
Boom.
There's no like 15% battery return to
Nah,
home.
there's
It's
not.
like it just falls out of the sky.
It just falls out.
Critical fuel levels reached.
Boop, boop.
Yeah, so
It has to be. I mean, that thing said like 50 hours, but I mean, like I don't know what size, but
well look here. If I definitely can't take a drone to the summit. If I get to the summit of Kilimanjaro in January, I'll take a clip. I'll come back on the podcast, and then
and then what?
I'll show you the clip.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just joking. Since you're not gonna go,
I don't think I'm going, but also
you're definitely not going.
you have to come back for your birthday.
Yeah, I gotta come back. It's really just it's the flights that are long. It's not. I mean, yeah, you're there for 8 days, but we were in Iceland for 10.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that it takes so much longer to get over there. You got to fly from here to, the northeastern United States, from there to London, from London to like somewhere in Ethiopia, like Addis Ababa or something like that, and then or Nairobi, and then fly from there to Kilimanjaro International Airport.
You're gonna be traveling for 2 whole days, right?
It's like a day and change. I think it's like 30 hours of flight time, or like 30 hours of travel time, not flight time. Obviously, like
including layovers.
I think so. I think it's like 30 hours total of like travel time.
Well, I hope you get your sleep, buddy.
Yeah, they're also. I think they're 7. No, they're probably more than that. I think they're at least 7 hours ahead, but they might be 9. This is gonna be rough to adjust to, but I have a break day, so I'm supposed to be flying over there. I'll take a break. So I'll arrive on the 4th of January.
Yeah.
I'm just resting. I'm getting there like at noon. The 5th of January, I'm just going to rest. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to like lay there.
Yeah.
And eat and stretch and everything. And then the 6th of January, I'm going to travel from the hotel in Moshi over to the I believe it's called the Londerosi Gate, where they weigh your bags. You meet, you talk to your guides, everything. And you start the hike, and the first day is super easy. I mean, it's just maybe 1,000, 2,000 feet of elevation gain, but it's very slow going, a few hours. You get to the campsite, you're still like you're in the jungle. There's monkeys and stuff.
No way.
Yeah, so I think the coolest part about Kilimanjaro, from what I've seen, is that you're such a low elevation. Or I mean, you're still relatively high. You're 6,000, 8,000 feet.
Okay.
You start. There's straight up monkeys and like jungle, lush rainforest. And yeah, there's just like it's like Africa, like there's animals, like there's plants everywhere.
It's actual,
yeah,
what we see in the documentaries.
Yeah, and you continue going. If for the better part of the next day, it's a high vegetation also, and you get into something called the moorlands, which are these weird alien-looking plants. They look like weird versions of cacti crossed with
succulents or something.
I don't know, but they're huge. Like they're really big. It looks like some like arid kind of. Weather plants and shrubs, and then you get further up and then there's no plants anymore, but then you get your first views of Kilimanjaro because you can't see it when you're in the jungle. You see it way in the distance and it's just like a little speck, and you just keep hiking along like through these fields for like a very long time. There's no grass or anything. It's just like little shrubs and dirt, and you go a few miles, you keep gaining elevation over the next several days, and then on day 5 or 6 you're getting to the base of Kilimanjaro at that point. And there's just this massive wall like in front of you called the Barranco Wall.
That's already on day 5.
Something like that, yeah.
Out of 7?
Yeah. Well, it's actually 8. I think it's 8 days, 7 nights that you spend on the mountain.
Okay.
But the whole time, the food and the tents and everything else is taken care of for you. So you're not having to worry about stuff like that. Your only job is to walk. You just have to walk physically get yourself up, physically get yourself down. They take care of everything else. And
Yeah.
there's no equipment you need. It's literally just boots and clothing, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm just not down to like shit in the woods. That's my thing.
Well, one, there are no woods.
I gotta poop in my
There's no
restroom.
trees. And then two, they actually bring up like a private toilet tent kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not much better than like an outhouse, but at least they're like solo. Like,
Call
like
me
it's
soft.
For, it's like it's for you and your group only,
Yeah.
or like whoever you pay for. And same thing with the tents. I mean, the tents are private unless you go with somebody. Then you can split the tent if you want to.
Yeah.
But they usually take 3-person tents, so they're pretty large, 4-person sometimes. And you continue up, and then some at night. You actually go to sleep at like 4 p.m. You wake up at like 11 p.m. They make you coffee or whatever, like they do. They're supposed to make you coffee like every morning. Or
That's
coffee,
crazy.
Like you get coffee, tea, and breakfast, and then you get lunch and then dinner like every single day. It's like they have people cooking for you.
It's fucking crazy, bro.
Like so, like they're trying to like push in the calories though, because you're just burning like thousands, like just walking
every day.
every single day slowly. Throughout the whole trip, you do about close to 50 miles and about 12,000 feet of vertical gain throughout the whole trip, which is a ton. Because I mean, like what we did, the waterfall was like almost 2,000. So imagine doing that 6 times. It's like it's like you're doing it every day for 6 days.
Yeah.
At increasingly higher elevation, because where we were, there was no altitude to worry about. And on the last day, you wake up at 11. You have your tea, you have your coffee. You try to get something down because a lot of people have problems with the altitude. And you start to climb up. It takes about 7 hours to get to the summit. It's about 4,000 vertical feet at high elevation. You're going from 15,000 feet to the summit, which is 19,300 something at the very top.
Fuck.
And you get to the very top, it's cold, there's snow. And so you started in a jungle with monkeys, and it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and you get up to the top and it could be 10 degrees. And there's ice everywhere, and there's no vegetation. There's literally glaciers on the summit, like large glaciers.
What?
And it's so weird because you're in the middle of like Africa. You look down, and there's like jungle and vegetation like way in the distance, and you're in a very hot climate, but it's cold. And you get to the summit, and then it's a quick 2 days down.
That's it.
Yeah, it takes. They try to get you to adjust, like so. It's like 6 to go up and 2 to come down.
That's fucking crazy.
And then I'll be there I'll get back down, and then I'll fly out the next day.
You're gonna have a weird time.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird, and then I have to overnight layover in Dublin in Ireland.
Really?
Overnight. Yeah, which is kind of weird, but I mean, it should be interesting. You gotta fly into DC.
Yeah.
And then from DC to Houston to McAllen. It's a lot of stuff. But
See, I know, like when I'm older, I'm gonna be like, "Fuck, why didn't I go with Steven too? I forgot when I could." But
maybe I'll go back one day.
maybe I'll go back one day.
I don't know. There's so many things that I want to do though. Like I want to climb in California in the summer if I can.
Yeah, there is. You're like a really adventurous person. You're like
There's a lot of stuff I want to see.
that you want to do. But
Well,
personally, I want to go to Japan.
Japan would be cool. I'd like to climb Mount Fuji, but maybe in the winter.
See, but not for hiking.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much there.
I mean, I just
There's really not much.
like the culture. I really want to go to Tokyo.
It seems cool there.
Yeah.
I haven't heard like much about it. It's weird. I'm not a city person when I travel. Like I don't care to be in the cities. I'm just like, oh, they're cool, but
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. But then I want to go to like other islands. For sure.
around there.
Yeah. And then Norway. Norway is like in my bucket list. What else?
Go to Norway. But I mean, I guess it's interesting that you say that. In most of these places, like there's like nothing to do in the cities. It's like Iceland. There's
But
just nothing
hike.
to do in the city. There's nothing to do there except hike.
It's just like nice sceneries. Like
it's cool
if
seeing
you
it.
enjoy the scenery,
It's cool. I guess I feel like with me, I can't enjoy the scenery unless I'm out in it.
unless you hike it up,
I'm in the scenery.
and then look down.
Well, you get more panorama
I guess so, man.
kind of view. You get to see stuff that most people aren't gonna see because they're just driving in the cars. Like, oh, cool.
Like
Keep
I'm
going.
down to like hike to a place, but not like.
I think
Like
you just
the only thing, the only
you don't like
reason why I
camping.
do like I don't like camping either. I've never really done it, but the only reason is like the only thing is like hiking 8 hours just to get to a summit. Like that's really cool, but it's like I personally I would never do it if like you wouldn't be like, hey, we're doing this.
let's go.
Yeah, like I wouldn't just I wouldn't have the drive to just me myself like fuck it, because I know like you do it because like you've gone to like hike alone like in Alaska.
Yeah.
You just like I'm hiking alone. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
you just
mean,
fucking do it.
What am I supposed
Like
to do?
that's like your thing. You
I
know.
want to do it. I can't wait for everybody all the time.
You just.
I mean, it's cool. Like I prefer going with friends because it's a different experience. But
Yeah.
at the same time, there's just certain experiences I want to have, and I can't
I
wait my whole life for somebody to be like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I mean, the stuff I want to do. There's a long list. I'd like to climb the tallest volcano in every continent. I think that'd be cool.
That sounds interesting.
The one in Mexico was one of them. That's the tallest volcano in North America.
Oh, can you see your story there?
What? Which one?
Your UFO story.
The UFOs. That's for the UFO podcast.
Fucking shit,
That's
Steven.
because I have to find photos too.
Yeah, you probably do, right?
Yeah, we can have the UFO podcast, and I'll tell you about my my potentially extraterrestrial experience in Mexico.
You know, in Monterrey, like just a couple of days ago, there was a whole bunch of like little lights lined up, and they were all moving like uniformly. A bunch of pictures, and then they were like, "Oh, these were Elon Musk's satellites."
I remember they said that they were moving them, right, or something like that.
But they were all like lined up perfectly, and they were like moving. So people got freaked out. Yeah, they were like, "What is that?" You know, and then like.
But could you see it from here or no?
Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of pictures. Like I can show you the pictures.
Yeah, I remember somebody was talking about it in class, and I was like, I don't know what they're talking about, but that would have been cool.
Look, because I know like my dad, he's always sending me like the latest. Would you ever do Everest?
I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe if it wasn't so expensive.
It's really expensive, right?
It's incredibly expensive. I think the low end, the climbs cost about 30 grand, 30 to 40.
Wow,
on the low end.
that's a lot.
And it's gotten very touristy. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not a difficult climb. It's incredibly difficult. I could not do it right now, in the condition I'm in. But
well, I don't know why they're not showing up.
I think the people that end up dying on it are usually people with very limited experience. I'd love to do Denali though, so I might take a. They have an 8-day mountaineering course in Washington that they do during the summer. I might try to sign up for it to just go over there for a week and just learn from like professionals, like everything there is to know about. Well, I mean, obviously as much as you can learn in 8 days because it takes a lifetime for a lot of the stuff, but as much as I can about crevasse rescue and recovering from falls. They train you on like, okay, we're gonna go to a steep place and we're gonna
fall.
You're gonna purposely fall.
Oh no!
That way you can learn how to stop yourself. Now it's somewhere safe where there's nothing. You just like, oh, it goes flat.
Oh,
you know what I mean? You're not gonna hurt yourself, but you learn how to fall. You learn how to recover. They do crevasse training where there's huge crevasses in the ice, and they train you how do you rescue somebody if they fall in it. You know, and you're roped up to them. What's the process for doing that? Traversing across like glaciated terrain, things like that. So there's a lot of like interesting things. You know, knot tying techniques, roping up.
Yeah.
Just like safety things that I'd like to learn. And I think it'd be interesting to kind of learn from people who have been doing this for like 30, 40 years.
And then you said that you needed to like do that course in order for you to be eligible to hike up this.
So yeah, with that company, you can climb up Denali, right? And that's one of the mountains that I'd really love to climb one day. There's another one in Canada that I'd love to climb too, which is I think Mount Robson. That one just looks cool. It's not even that big. It just looks really cool.
I see.
It's one of the coolest looking mountains I've seen. It just looks so impressive from the road. It's like massive. Even though it's only like 11,000 feet, 12,000 feet.
No mess.
But but no, Denali is 20,000 or more. I can't remember exactly how tall it is. Yeah, that one's undertaking. That one takes about 2 weeks, 18 days, something like that.
Oh, that's the one that I was confusing it for.
That one takes 18 days, and you need experience. You need to be in top physical condition because you're carrying heavy bags. You're carrying a sled with like extra gear on your back, like you're pulling it on the snow. You're going up very steep terrain. You're camping. You're waiting for the right time. You're dealing with inclement weather.
Fuck. So
granted, it's in the U.S. There's a lot of like safety precautions that are there. So in every permit that you buy to go climb Denali, there's a portion of that fee that's going towards rescues. So if there is an issue with somebody on the mountain that is life-threatening or serious, they can pick you up with a helicopter.
Oh, okay.
And in a lot of these like third world countries, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
They have people carry you down if they can.
If they can.
On Everest, a lot of times people get left.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think Everest is, at the end of the day, I think the fatality rate is under 2%.
Under 2%?
Which is incredibly high for an activity.
Yeah.
Because planes couldn't fly if they had a 2% fatality rate. That'd be ridiculous.
No.
But in terms of like, overall, like it's just experience. And I think 85% of the people that die on Everest die on the way down. Only 15% of them on the way up. And I think out of that, they were talking about like more than half die in what's called a death zone, which is the last portion of Everest where there's really a lot of oxygen like lacking. But most people just push way too hard to get to the top and they're not ready to come back down. And at the end of the day, my motto is like, getting to the top is optional, getting down is mandatory. Right?
Yeah.
It's okay if I don't summit.
That's a good one.
It's okay if I don't summit, but it's not okay if I don't get back down.
This is going to be like the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah. So I think there's just a lot of like misconceptions with Everest, but it's just incredibly expensive and it is very packed now. There's a lot of people that want to climb it. It's the tallest mountain in the world. I mean, there's no way getting around that.
And how long is it to get to the summit?
Like 2 months.
Fuck.
Yeah.
2 months.
Close to 2 months. Because they have to wait for weather, and there's only a few like good days a year where their weather is just perfect for climbing up there. Because the weather can be really bad.
Yeah.
Like really, really bad.
So would you do it? Like, let's just say like you have the money.
If I had the money and I was physically like in condition to do it, then I say why not.
But what would your significant other say?
I probably would not like it.
Not at all.
Probably not.
They'll be like, you probably shouldn't do this.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I don't know. There's certain things about Everest that just kind of like I'm not super enthralled about the lines and stuff like that. I think it's kind of gotten a little bit out of hand. So, but maybe in the next 10 to 15 years, they're kind of tighten down the amount of permits they give. So it's one of those wait and see. But Everest is not something that I'm like super like hyped up about. But what I'd love to do Denali. I think that's very reasonable and attainable for a lot of people if they're really interested and they're dedicated to learning how.
So is everybody in Denali, or everybody that hikes up, are they like super fit?
Yeah, you got to be in pretty good condition.
Damn.
Like you're not gonna find like everybody there like has to be doing cardio or climbing frequently.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna get up there if you're just like a couch potato.
Yeah.
Or even if you just go to the gym, you just lift weights. Like no, you're not gonna be in condition to,
like you have
get up there.
No, like you have to like train for it.
It's high elevation. You're pulling a lot of weight.
Fuck,
it's tough on your body. It's really tough, and it's a lot of elevation gain.
Yeah.
Many thousands of feet of gain. And actually, Denali is, from my understanding, it looks more impressive to me than Everest because Everest, the bottom is 18,000 feet and it goes up to 29. That gives you a net of like 11,000.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're sitting at base camp on Everest and you're looking up 11,000 feet. That's crazy, right? That you can see that high.
Yeah.
On Denali, I think the bottom is like 4,000, 6,000, something like that. And the top is 20. So you're looking up like 14 to 16,000 feet. So the mountain just looks massive, even though it's comparatively smaller in terms of elevation. But you're not dealing with a lot of the kind of bad things that come with really high elevation, like needing supplemental oxygen. You don't need supplemental oxygen. That's not a thing. But you get to see the mountain just jutting out from the plain. Like it's all green grass and there's just this huge like snowy peak, like this massive mound. I think like anybody who goes to Alaska should definitely see it. If not to climb it, at least just to take photos because it's supposedly one of the most like ridiculous things to look at.
Yeah, that's fucking
and
nuts.
Like to get up close to. But you do have to take a helicopter to get to the base camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's why it's partially expensive. You gotta fly in, get there, take a helicopter, start hiking, spend 2 weeks.
So when are you looking at doing it though?
I'd love to do that in the next 5 years.
In the next 5 years?
Yeah. So
you're probably gonna start like actually consciously training for it after
maybe in a year.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see how my body does. The highest I've ever been in terms of elevation is 18,491 feet, and that was rough. But that was 2 years ago. I don't even know how it feels anymore. I know how elevation feels like 14,000 feet, like stuff in Colorado.
Yeah,
it's tiring. It's not like crazy, but 19,000 was rough. So I kind of want to take Kilimanjaro. It's not easy. Don't get me wrong. No, not anybody can do it. I think anybody can do it with the right amount of training. Like most things, anybody can do it if they apply themselves too. But if you just picked like random people off the street and just said, "Hey, just climb it today," nah, Like I think the overall, like it's very highly climbed, but I think overall the summit success rate is only about 40 or 50%. So half the people that go don't go up.
Is that
or more?
That's not because of weather conditions, though, right? You told me that it was.
They climb it year round. The mountain is climbed year round.
Fairly friendly weather.
No, it does rain a lot. That's what the kind of downside of Kilimanjaro is. It very frequently rains, like all the time. But it's not because the weather's too bad and they don't go up. They go up pretty much any time of year. It's not like you get there and like, oh no, it's bad weather, it's foggy, like we can't go up. Yeah. Most of the time they still go up, it's foggy. You might not see anything, but you get to the summit.
Yeah.
It's just it's more on you. It's like, can you personally push yourself to get up there? And if you can, then you're gonna get up to the top. And if you can't, then you can't do it. But most people get altitude sickness. That's like most of the cause because I think your body can only acclimatize to a certain amount of gain, especially us. Like we live at sea level, so it's rough on the body. It's trying to adjust. It's trying to like get used to lack of oxygen in the environment. Okay, it's rough, but yeah, I guess we should wrap up the podcast.
Probably should wrap it up. Looking forward to a UFO one though.
I know. I'll have to find the photos. I'll definitely will be able to talk about the
look at you flexing.
The potential. It's just like the potential UFOs.
Potential UFOs that you saw.
I don't think they were. They were probably jets or something. But we'll save that for another.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. And I know Brandon really wanted to talk about UFOs, so we'll do that with him.
Brandon. He is an alien.
You're right. Illuminati confirmed. Anyways, all right. Thank you guys for watching. You can find this guy and you can see his things there. Well, you don't want me to put your Instagram?
You put whatever you want.
All right.
It may or may not be there when they click on it, but we'll see.
All right. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you were about to delete your whole Instagram.
Yeah, I'll take a social media break.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, man, for coming.
Yeah, no problem.
Love you.
You too.
Bye.